After watching the lukewarm season finale of House of the Dragon Season 2, many fans are eager to continue their Westerosi journey. Sadly, the wait for the next season is too long, and people will start to get impatient or even forget about House of the Dragon altogether. It seems that HBO understands that, and recently released an interesting trailer for a new spin-off series. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will be completely different from the usual GOT drama. This time, we will get to learn in depth about the ways of the common folk and how everything functions through the eyes of Sir Duncan the Tall. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will be the third live-action series based on the works of George R.R. Martin. It will be set almost a century before the events of Game of Thrones. The hype for the series is at an all-time high due to the trailer release, and we're eager to share everything you need to know about A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Let's dive into what could be HBO's next big hit, starting with the release date. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. When can we expect A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms? The much-awaited Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is set to premiere in 2025 and will work as a buffer between both the seasons of House of the Dragon. This series is also very different from the usual Westerosi drama that we watch. The six-part series is a direct adaptation of novellas called The Tales of Dunk and Egg, written by George R.R. Martin. What's even better is that Martin will serve as an executive producer for the series and will take an active part in the production. So it's safe to assume that this series won't turn out to be a disaster like Season 8 of Game of Thrones. The storyline of that final season still gives me nightmares. What can we expect from the epic Tales of Dunk and Egg? While we're on the topic of the storyline, let's talk about the major plot points of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and what the potential plot looks like. Now, we are making these assumptions based on the trailer of the series and the novels written by George R.R. Martin, so it can be a bit different from what HBO has intended, but the major plot points will be the same. As discussed before, the story will be about Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg as they travel the Seven Kingdoms in search of work and new experiences. Now, I've mentioned Sir Duncan quite a few times in this video, but who is he exactly? Well, Dunk is a hedge knight who grew up on the streets of Fleabottom. The guy is tall and extremely fast for his size. But what's even more fascinating is his journey from Fleabottom to the auspicious tournament featured in the trailer. Basically, Dunk was a squire to another knight named Sir Arlen of Pennytree and learned a lot under him. Following the death of his master, Sir Duncan assumed the role of a knight and also took on the armor of his former master and heads to the tournament. This is where he finds Egg, aka Aegon Targaryen, and then the story picks off. To put things into perspective, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms may work somewhat like the Witcher series, where the protagonist travels from one place to another in search of consistent work. That's what a hedge knight basically is. They don't serve under a banner or a lord. Instead, they sell their services to the highest bidder and make a hefty payday. Basically, Bronn of the Blackwater in latter seasons of the Game of Thrones. The Targaryen legacy. What comes after the Dance of the Dragons? What's more interesting is that we will also get to learn more about the Targaryen line of succession leading up to the Mad King who destroyed everything. The series will be set decades after the Dance of the Dragons, and we will get to know how the Targaryens are managing without their greatest strength, the dragons. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will also focus on the character development of Egg, aka Aegon Targaryen, as he is the one who will eventually sit on the throne. Now, Egg is nowhere near the line of succession at the beginning of the events, but slowly we will get to see how a young boy with a shaved head turns into a king and protector of the Seven Kingdoms. With George R.R. Martin at the helm of things, it's expected that the series will have a plethora of twists and turns, and who can forget the iconic battles? During the trailer, there's a certain scene at the end where Sir Duncan the Tall is involved in the Trial by Seven. It's basically like Trial by Combat, but includes 7 knights in each team. We can expect a Battle of the Bastards kind of cinematic sequence where all the best knights of the Seven Kingdoms go up against each other. Apart from all the action, adventure, and drama, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will also help us get a better perspective about the events that have unfolded in the future. With the help of the 3 novels, the makers will try to fill in the gaps between the events of House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. Due to the timeline of events, we will also see different characters and the rise of different houses, specifically the Baratheons and the Lannisters. The key characters of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. George R.R. Martin is great at creating unique characters that have distinctive traits and turn out to be fan favorites. We expect that A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will also have a few of these super charismatic characters that are bound to go viral and create a stir on the internet. The cast of the series includes prominent characters who play an important part in the events that have defined the history of Westeros. From Targaryens to Baratheons and also the Three-Eyed Raven, there is everyone in this series. So let's take a brief look at all the characters. 1. Sir Duncan the Tall. The first one has to be Sir Duncan the Tall, as he will be the protagonist of the series and will be the driving force of the plot. Played by a former rugby player, Peter Claffey, this is his first major acting gig, and he'll have lots of responsibilities on his shoulders. Not to worry though, because this actor perfectly encapsulates the size and strength of Sir Duncan the Tall. Apart from being tall and strong, Sir Duncan also believes in honor and humility. We will see how Sir Duncan rises up the ranks in the tricky world of power only with his honor. Didn't work out so well for Ned Stark, but maybe Sir Duncan the Tall will have an associate or squire helping him out. 2. Aegon Targaryen, aka Egg. The future of Westeros will play a prominent part in the series, as he serves as a squire for Sir Duncan the Tall. According to the novels, Sir Duncan isn't aware of Egg's true identity and learns about it later in the series. However, upon learning his true identity, he swears to protect Aegon Targaryen and also serves as the commander of his Kingsguard when he comes into power. There's also an entire scene in Game of Thrones explaining the legacy of Sir Duncan the Tall. Coming back to Egg, he will be played by a young actor named Dexter Sol Ansel. According to the few shots in the trailer and the novels, it's believed that Egg is far wiser, intelligent, and more confident than most 10-year-olds. He's also a scrawny kid who will most likely need the protection of Sir Duncan the Tall as he travels the Seven Kingdoms. 3. Mycah Targaryen. The youngest son of King Daeron II Targaryen, Mycah Targaryen is expected to play a prominent role in the upcoming series. Just like in House of the Dragon, we will encounter good and bad Targaryens in this series as well. Sadly, Mycah is expected to side against Sir Duncan and Egg during their adventures and can serve as a thorn in their side. Played by Sam Spruill, this character is set to bring the much-needed wisdom on the screens. 4. Baelor Targaryen. Firstborn of King Daeron II, Baelor Targaryen is the most prized possession of the entire Seven Kingdoms. Expected to take over the reins after his father, Baelor plays a rather gray character in the novels written by George R.R. Martin. Depicted by actor Bertie Carvel, Baelor Targaryen will eventually side with Sir Duncan and Egg, giving them the much-needed assistance they hope to sustain in uncharted territories. Sir Duncan is expected to have a tough time in the series due to his birth and circumstances regarding his turning into a knight. Therefore, he will need all the help he can get. 5. Sir Lionel Baratheon. As serious GOT fans, we always wanted to see how Robert Baratheon would look in his prime or during Robert's Rebellion. Although we won't get to see that in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, we can expect another Baratheon who's maybe more fierce than Robert. Sir Lionel Baratheon is expected to play a major role in the first season. Also regarded as the Laughing Storm, Lionel Baratheon is the heir to Storm's End and is also regarded as a fierce knight. Seeing him in action will surely be one of the main highlights of the series. What's more intriguing is the casting choice behind this character. Acclaimed actor Daniel Ings is set to play Lionel Baratheon, indicating his importance in the series. We can also expect a matchup between Sir Duncan the Tall and Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm. 6. Aerion Targaryen. The final character on the list is also the most important one considering the history of Westeros. Aerion Targaryen, aka the Mad King, is still young in the series and has visions of grandeur and the legacy of the Targaryen bloodline. He is the son of Maekar Targaryen, and it's expected that Sir Duncan and Egg will eventually cross paths with the insane ruler. We'll also get to see what's going on inside the head of a ruler who wanted to burn an entire city to the ground with wildfire. These were all the main characters expected to feature in the upcoming series in 2025. Apart from the mentioned characters, we can also expect to see Aemon Targaryen and how he ends up in the Night's Watch. Considering the Targaryen bloodline, Aemon is the elder brother to Egg and was in line for the throne, but he gave it all up and joined the Night's Watch. Another interesting character is Tanzel, who is a Danish puppeteer and is known for her incredible height. She plays an important part in the storyline and is also rumored to be Sir Duncan's wife in the future. Another theory suggests that Sir Brienne of Tarth from GOT is actually a descendant of Sir Duncan and Tanzel. Well, that explains her grace and incredible height. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, controversies and criticisms. With so many great characters, there's no doubt that a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will be the next big thing in the Game of Thrones universe. But what if I told you that this series was actually scrapped and is shrouded in controversy? HBO didn't want to go ahead with it, and George R.R. Martin had to persuade and repitch the entire series. Although the reasons behind this haven't been revealed yet, it's rumored that it's because of the lack of source material. Now, Martin has already promised 12 novels regarding the adventures of Dunk and Egg. However, as yet, only 3 have been released. Therefore, Martin's first priority is to write more books, and he revealed the same in a recent interview. The second major controversy is the lack of hype for the series. Fans are on to high and expect massive action and dragon warfare, but A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms has none of that and is majorly an adventure drama. The series won't have that many action scenes, and we've all watched the House of the Dragon Season 2 finale to understand the lukewarm response. The series will be completely different from what we've seen before. This time, there will be a major focus on the common folk and how they feel while the royals are fighting for the throne in their castles. So maybe instead of judging the series before it's released, we should give A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, aka Sir Duncan the Tall, a fighting chance. Quite literally. Conclusion. So with this, our feature on A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms comes to an end. If you're also excited about the series, then do drop us a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, let us know if you have any interesting theories about the story and the characters mentioned in the video. If you're looking to carry on this informative journey about the Game of Thrones universe, then do check out our channel for similar videos around the world of Westeros. With that, thank you and stay marvelous. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.